So, more tips and tricks. This is more geared towards one-on-one personalized reading, but can kind of apply to generalized reading too. We already went over in generalized reading, number 1, if it's not your reading, click off the video, right? We already went over that. But what happens when you are having a personalized one-on-one reading? What are some tips and tricks to remember to get the best reading possible? Here's a few things that I say. Number 1, have questions in mind that you want to ask your reader. Be specific in regards to, don't just say, oh, tell me about love. Yeah, you can do that. It's not off limits, but you are going to find that you resonate more and it will give you more of a validation when you ask more specific questions and you get those specific answers. Because of course, everybody wants to have a very specific reading. So first tip is to ask specific questions. You can say, is this person coming back? Or how does this person feel about me? Or I'm feeling this way. What would be the most likely outcome? Getting to timing now. When you have a personalized reading, it is always best to go in with a timing frame in your mind of 2 to 6 weeks max. It's going to give you the best narrowed down snapshot in time that's going to be the most accurate for you. Because here's the thing. Tarot is not the be all end all. It's not. It does not predict things that must and always will happen. It's not like that. It is not something that you can't run away from. It's going to happen. No. Tarot only tells you a snapshot in time of the energies when you look at it in that moment. The biggest thing people forget is free will. You have free will. Other people around you have free will. And that's why if you're asking something for a year down the road, you know how many times that you could change your mind? You know how many times somebody else can change their mind? It's free will. So if you want a more detailed, accurate reading, narrow down your own personal time frame to 2 to 6 weeks. That way, there's less of a chance of people changing their mind and changing the trajectory and imposing their own free will when you narrow down the time frame. Also, regarding free will, if you don't like something you hear in a tarot reading, say something comes up and it's negative, and you're like, oh, I don't like that. Guess what? Once again, free will. Tarot just gives you if you continue on this path right now, the way that you're going, this is going to be the most likely outcome. If you don't like that outcome, change it. That's the beauty of tarot and what it does for us. It gives us a heads up. And if we like something, great, stay on that path. If you don't like it, great, change your path and you can change the outcome. So that's why I say tarot is not the be all end all. It is not something that has to happen. It's not something that will happen 100%. It is something that gives you almost like a little sneak peek and a heads up into your future. And if you don't like that, change it. So when you're going into tarot as well, and you want to know big generalized issues, again, when you narrow down the time frame, you're going to get a better result. So say you do just want to say, hey, tell me about work life. Tell me about what's coming up for me financially. Great. You can totally ask those more generalized questions, but do so again with a smaller time frame in mind. And that way, those generalized questions will have a better chance of having a resonation to it instead of, 6 months, a year out. Binks, every time I get at this table, she's so ready to jump up. I hope that this helped. These are just a few things that I remind my clients and also just people that I talk to in regards to tarot. If you haven't yet watched the Generalized Tarot on how to watch Generalized Tarot, please do so, because there's some really good tips in there about keeping your vibe high and being, having the authority to just click off of a video. So hopefully this helped you guys. Hopefully some of these tips and tricks are helpful in regards to if you go to book a reading with somebody, kind of what to keep in mind, what to expect.